Welcome to Let's Talk. Hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Judy here. I'm an everyday person, but I don't worship billionaires nor do I love dictators. I fight for freedom and human rights. And if you don't know, I upload weekly to this series, which talks about history, culture, economics, and more. My friends, before we dive into today's topic, please allow me to thank the friends who bought me coffee from my website last week. Thank you so much for your kind support, my friends. Thank you. My friends, as you know, I often say that we shouldn't educate ourselves because if we don't, we might only be able to see the illusions that just before our eyes instead of the hidden truth behind them. If we don't educate ourselves by reading more and more various books, we might be tricked by so many stupid theories. Like many months ago, someone told us that God sends storms to punish people. And today they tell us that some other people acting like God sending storms to hurt people. Unbelievable, right? So my friends, we must educate ourselves. And if we possess enough knowledge, we'll have better lives. You wanna live better, right? I know I do. So, my friends, educate yourselves. I'm sure you'll thank yourselves for doing it on your own. Besides, we are now facing a new industrial revolution. We need to arm ourselves with knowledge and skills in order to keep our jobs or find new ones. Yes, we are all facing technological unemployment because of technological change, the new industrial revolution. This is not the first time that the world has to experience significant shifts in employment due to new technology. Although the issue of machines displacing human labor has discussed since at least Aristotle's time, it's considered that the first industrial revolution took place from the 18th and 19th centuries in Europe and North America, especially in Great Britain. Then the second one took place between 1870 and 1914, mainly because of steel, oil, and electricity. The third one is also called digital revolution in the 1980s. During this time, jobs got replaced by computers and robots. As you've already known, during the first three revolutions, many old jobs were gone, but more new jobs were created. Moreover, people's living standards improved. Now we are facing the fourth revolution, a revolution built on the digital revolution, a revolution that is marked by emerging technology breakthroughs in a number of fields, including AI and automation and more. The question is, could this time also create more jobs than it destroys? To be honest, I'm not sure, but we have to try to survive, right? So we'd better spend more time on reskilling ourselves, on absorbing more knowledge, on educating ourselves. What do you think, my friends? What's your thoughts?
My friends, if you recall, I've talked about some topics about industrial revolution. And you might know that during each and every this kind of revolution, no one could stop it from happening.
In the past, human beings survived and lived better lives after every industrial revolution. But this time, it doesn't seem so. Right, I don't think this time is good for human beings. I believe that humanoid robots and AI together will eventually replace at least half of the world's human population. Yeah, I mean jobs. They'll lose jobs to humanoid robots and AI. In fact, so many people have already lost their jobs to robots or AI or both. Yeah, I know some people at the top have been telling you that illegal immigrants are taking their jobs, not AI or robots. Why? It's quite obvious, isn't it? The people who control robots and AI are super rich, while immigrants are poor. And rich people also control resources like human resources, media, and more. And they can use the resources to make people believe whatever they want people to believe.
Poor people have nothing. They are just trying to survive. They don't have any resources to be heard. In fact, they can't even protect their loved ones. The only thing they can do is trying their best to stay alive. Anyway, in my view, human jobs are taken by robots and AI, and they blame other people, which is sad because they can't see the truth, because they still defend, even worship the people who use robots and AI to replace them. Some might wake up once all the illegal immigrants are deported and they still don't get the jobs they wanted. But I believe most of them will never wake up because their so-called leaders then will tell them that legal immigrants or other races of people take their jobs.
Then they'll fight against the people whom their leaders blame. No, they'll never blame robots or AI. In my opinion, they'll even continue worshipping the owners of robots and AI. How stupid, you might say, but I don't blame them because they don't choose to stay stupid. They stupid because the system has never given them the opportunities to become clever and intelligent. So I don't blame them, but blame or not doesn't matter. I believe in the end, half human jobs will be replaced by robots and AI, and I don't think anyone can stop it from happening. What do you think, my friends? What's your opinion? My friends, if you're not new to this channel, you don't know that I've talked about industrial revolutions. And I said in one of the videos that AI and robots together will replace tons of millions of human jobs. If you don't recall, or if you're a new friend and haven't watched those videos, please check them out in the description or comment. Yeah, you guessed it. Today, I'm gonna talk about AI, robots, and human jobs. Why? Well, because I just found that I'm not the only one who believes that AI and robots are taking human jobs. A Stanford study has found evidence that AI is impacting the job prospects of early career workers. The researchers found that workers between the ages of 22 and 25 have experienced a 13% relative decline in employment since 2022 in occupations most exposed to AI. You see, my friends, AI is transforming the workforce and not always for the better. And like I've said before, I don't know if we as human beings will survive this industrial revolution. However, some people at the top tell you that immigrants are taking your jobs, not AI, not robots. But in my opinion, also like I've said before, the jobs you want have been taken by AI and robots. The jobs immigrants taking are not the ones you want. Why? Well, because immigrants work in the industries like agriculture. Do you think that's what you want? If you've noticed, you might find that companies have been adopting AI to boost productivity while cutting human jobs. For example, IBM knows AI users call, email, ticket data to enhance responses and cut costs. That's right. In data-rich industries, old jobs vanish almost overnight, while new ones emerge. Yes, AI also creates new jobs, but these new positions often require completely different skills and tend to cluster in tech hubs. You might wonder which industries have been hit by AI. Well, according to some sources, workers in industries ranging from healthcare to agriculture and industrial sectors can all expect to see disruptions in hiring due to AI. As for the jobs that are getting hit hard, software development and customer support are getting hammered. Financial traders, translators, writers, and graphic designers are also being replaced by AI. So, in my view, the future of human jobs is not looking good. I believe more and more people will lose their jobs because of AI and robots. And some powerful and rich people will tell you that other races of people have been taking their jobs. You see, my friends, I think the future of the world is getting darker and darker, not only because of AI and robots, but also because of Trump-like people in almost all countries. Right? If you're not a new friend and you read my poems or watched my previous videos, you know my thoughts about AI and robots and human future. But if you're new to my YouTube channels, Judy Fay London and Judy Plus, please check them out in the description or comments. Now you know that I'm anti-AI and robots because I believe they, AI and robots together, will take millions or even billions of human jobs in the future. And I don't know if humans can survive this industrial revolution if governments don't protect humans, especially ordinary people. By the way, if you don't know, in my view, there are only wealthy people and ordinary people, and the so-called middle class belongs to the group of ordinary people. And no, I don't think that the ruling class in most countries would make some rules to restrict AI or robots in order to save ordinary people because they simply don't care. And they don't want to offend the wealthy people who own AI and robots. Moreover, they will lie to people by saying that the government shouldn't interfere the market. And it's all about freedom. But the truth is, they just don't care ordinary people's lives. And they believe that most ordinary people are stupid enough to buy their lives. Unfortunately, they are right. So many people do buy their lives like Trumpers. They fight for the freedom of wealthy people to harm ordinary people without any consequences. So more and more people will lose their jobs, and the world economy will be getting worse and worse. But the evil, powerful people will tell ordinary people that other races or other countries have taken their jobs. And this will lead to more Trump-like politicians to be elected as their leaders, since the majority of people in almost all countries are poorly educated. They are more easily manipulated by these evil people. Yeah, like I've said before in my previous videos, this is the very reason that Trump and his MAGA party don't want ordinary people to be well educated. They want people to stay stupid, to stay Trumper-like. In fact, not only Trump and some top MAGAs in America, other evil people at the top in other countries do the same to their people. So in my view, the future of the world is very dark. More people will lose their jobs living in poverty, while more countries will be ruled by dictators. Let me say it again because it's important. More people will get poorer because of bad policies that are made by these evil people at the top, like Trump. So why do I say more countries will be ruled by dictators? Well, just like I mentioned above, the majority of people in almost all countries are Trumpers, and evil people like Trump will use nationalism and or patriotism to manipulate Trumper-like ordinary people. Once these evil people become leaders, they will carry out nationalist, economic, and cultural policies, which require concentrated government power. meaning its policies will make a bigger and stronger federal government while making ordinary people more powerless. And finally, these policies will lead to a dictatorship. And if the dictatorship ends, if ever, one or more opposite extremists would be chosen by the angry people, and which might lead to another dictatorship. My friends, a dictatorship is never good for anyone, especially for ordinary people. So I say it again, the future of the world is dark, deeply dark. However, if people choose their leaders carefully, the future might be bright. Okay, my friends, in case you don't know me yet, I'm Judy Fay London, a fan of Jack London. I'm a published writer who writes fiction and non-fiction novels and short stories. You're very welcome to visit my website, judyfaylondon.com or Amazon to read my poems and my short stories. The last one, Mr. Rat, Candy the Dog, and so on, and my latest non-fiction book, Living with the Walking Dead, a roadmap for achieving your own success. I hope to see you there, and I thank you so much for your kind support, and thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channels, Judy Fay London and Judy Plus. Judy Fay London is a channel that mainly talks about culture, economics, and dictators and various events and people in human history, while Judy Plus is a channel that talks about interesting discoveries in the world of science.